The ringing overhead in the emergency room was relentless, fluorescent lights buzzing like they were straining under the weight of every worry in the building. I sat on the edge of a plastic chair, gripping my phone so tightly I swear I could feel the screen indent under my palm. My son Ryan, only 10 years old, was lying gurney-bound somewhere down the hall. His arm was bent at an unnatural angle, and every few seconds, his face scrunched up in pain. I tapped out a message to my parents. My fingers shook too much to type fast. Ryan's in the ER. The doctor thinks it's broken. Can someone come? 10 minutes later, my mother replied, "We're busy with Lisa's promotion dinner. Can't you handle it? He's probably just being dramatic." My chest tightened. Dramatic. Again. I stared at the message as the fluorescent light hum echoed in my ears. Their words blurred until the screen on my phone went dark. A moment later, I sat at home, tapping through my banking app. Mortgage payments, car loan, credit cards, utilities, all canceled. Automatic debit help I'd been giving for years had ended in one swift, resolute swipe. It felt heavy and necessary. My name is Sarah. I'm 35 years old, a financial analyst, a single mother. And the help I'd been providing to my parents had finally cost me everything: love, respect, emotional safety. From that moment forward, I officially stopped paying for the love I never truly received. 3 days earlier, I wandered through the hallway of my childhood home, standing before the family photo wall. Picture frames lined up like soldiers. Lisa in cap and gown, the wedding veil, the baby's wide grin beside her, layer after layer of pictures calling out to me, yet none showcasing my own triumphs. The engineer of emotions in me felt that familiar knot of longing tighten in my stomach. I'd lived with that ache so long I could almost Control+C, Control+V it into place. But today something felt different. Today it wasn't just familiarity, it felt like urgency. "Sarah, are you there? Come help with the dishes." My mother's voice came from the kitchen, clipped, distant. I paused in the hallway. I hadn't driven here to scrub potato skins off pans. I'd come to talk, or do battle, finally. But old habits crept in. I walked into the kitchen. Mom was humming under her breath, arranging a spread of appetizers: croquettes, bruschetta, cheese platters, each polished like props for Lisa's celebration waiting upstairs. Dad was in the corner of the kitchen chatting with a family friend about some obscure business deal. Lisa was elsewhere getting champagne. My world felt like a stage where I'd been cast as understudy my entire life. Mom glanced up and smiled. "Sarah, sweetheart, can you finish these plates while I finish upstairs? Your dad got the crackers wrong. Plain wasn't what we needed." I nodded, picked up a plate, and began arranging crackers. Same story. Different day. Same child sidelined. I quietly set the tray down and backed away, listening to laughter drifting from upstairs. My phone buzzed. "Denise, my ex-mother-in-law. Have you told them yet?" I tapped on the message with a mix of relief and regret. I hadn't told them. Not yet. How do you tell the people who gave you life that you're done trying to buy their approval? That you're done paying their bills? That the only grandson they care about is one who isn't theirs? And that they didn't even make it to his school's family tree day? Should I not come? I texted Denise. "You have to," she answered. The front door slammed. Dad's heavy steps cut across the hallway. I turned and forced a smile. "Dad," I began, but he barely registered my presence. "Where's Mom?" He barely looked at me. "Lisa's almost here." Was that it? That was all he had to say? I swallowed the knot in my throat. "Okay." He walked away, and I finished setting crackers one by one, each meant to be a small connection, but invisible to them all. 6 months ago the call started. A phone call out of nowhere from my mom. A text asking about how Ryan's doing. An invitation to Sunday dinner. I hung on to every message, thinking maybe something had changed. Then Lisa's promotion hit. Big opportunity, champagne invitations, the entire family buzzing with pride. Within minutes, I was swept back into the rotation. I thought, good. Maybe now. But the truth? My payments sparked this love. Not my child, not me. Mom reappeared in the kitchen, newly dressed in the blouse I'd bought her at Christmas. "Did you finish those plates?" she asked, her cheeks pink with pre-celebration thrill. "Lisa is on her way." I have to talk, I said, loud enough for even Dad to pause mid-sentence in the hall beyond. Mom looked perplexed. Tonight's not the time. I set my jaw. No now. Her smile slipped. Okay, what is it? I straightened. I'm stopping the financial support. It hit her like a gust of cold wind. What financial support? The mortgage, the car payment, the utilities. Every automatic payment stopping today. Her mouth trembled, shock turning to anger. After everything we've done for you? I laughed, sharp and unexpected. You mean raised me? That's the bare minimum, Mom. Dad came in, concern etched on his face. What's happening? She's cutting us off, Mom spat, hands pressing to her hips like daggers. Dad frowned. Is this about that text? We already explained. I shook my head. It's not about one text. It's about every single moment of being invisible. I went through it again. Ryan's 10th birthday weekend, Mom canceling at the last minute. Lisa wanted her cousins over instead. The day I had emergency appendicitis surgery, they were too busy to get Ryan. The choice. He wasted our time. He's too much work. Meanwhile, Denise swooped in. Hospital room. Ryan's school. Dinner dishes. She was love incarnate. Invisible strings hadn't bound her. Father cleared his throat. You're overreacting. We couldn't miss Lisa's dinner. I clenched my fists but spoke calmly. No. I'm done. I watched my mother's gaze shift from hurt to calculation, as if tallying the cost. But the car payment is soon. Your father needs medication. They can ask Lisa. They have savings. It's no longer my problem. Just then, laughter from upstairs. The sound of champagne corks popping flooded down the stairs. Lisa. On time. Gleaming. Mom glanced upstairs. She's here. We need to get this going. I'm going too. I pulled my purse over my shoulder. Eyes on me. I offered a tight smile. Sarah, wait, Mom stuttered. But I walked away. I brushed past Lisa at the landing. She looked surprised. Congrats on your promotion, I said evenly. Thanks. Her voice was quiet, uncertain. Then I walked out. Driving home was surreal. Tears slipped not from sorrow but from release. A child again, solace washed, steps lighter for the burden dropped. Ryan was safe at Denise's, flour on his cheeks, dough in his hair. She'd sent me the picture. On the ER waiting bench 3 days later, the cast went on. A final vestige of pain. My phone buzzed. A message from Mom. Please reconsider. We need you. I turned it off. Focused instead on Ryan, brave and trembling. I held his good hand. Promised him we'd get through this and someday we would go to Grandma Denise's house. With spaghetti. Weeks came and went. No calls. No messages. Silence thick enough to taste. 3 months after the ER incident, I got a call from a block number. Mom, from Dad's cell. Sarah, we need to talk this situation. I'm not interested, I said calmly. They told me they lost the car. Missed mortgage payment. Financial crisis. I felt the echo of guilt rise for a moment. But it was faint. Mom's voice broke. We're your parents. You were never mine, I whispered. Not really. I heard her inhale. But before she could respond, I said, I have to go. Ryan has soccer. I hung up, blocked that number too. At home, Ryan worked on his school project, the family tree. I knelt beside him. He looked proud. I asked, can I see? 4 faces. Me, him, Denise, Brian. 4 hearts. No Lisa. No grandparents. Is this everyone? I asked, voice soft. He nodded, shoulders straight. Yeah. These are the ones who love us. Simple. Unguarded. True. A week later, a call from Lisa. Polite, detached. How do you say goodbye? She asked, voice cold. I said. I stopped giving what I couldn't get back. She says you're being vindictive. I'm not punishing anyone. I'm done pretending. Silence. Then quietly. They'll never change. Maybe not. But I have. Good for you. That, from my sister, was the most honest thing she'd ever said to me. One night, after bedtime, I sat on the back porch, glass of red wine in hand. Cool breeze. Stars. I thought about emotional inheritance. Patterns passed down like old heirlooms. The unspoken belief that love must be paid for. The old idea buzzing inside their heads. Children know everything. I wanted better for Ryan. A legacy of acceptance. Of unconditional love. Of seeing yourself as enough. My phone buzzed. Denise. Brian's making chili on Sunday. You and Ryan coming. I typed back. Wouldn't miss it. The fireflies blinked. My glass caught moonlight. I felt peaceful. Free. Looking back, everything was clear. I spent a lifetime trying to earn approval. My trophies gathered dust while my sister soaked in all the praise. My marriage shattered. My mother lectured me on priorities. My father balked at my career choices. But Denise and Brian, Randy's family, they welcomed me, valued me, treated me like I mattered. I found true family in them. Broken things led me to this. The voice within that said, "You are enough. You don't owe anyone else your worth." The moment I believed it was the moment I started living it. This is more than a story about stopping payments. It's a story of breaking cycles, letting go, reclaiming your dignity, letting love come without price tags. It ends tonight, with Ryan's laughter and plate of chili at Grandma Denise's house. That house isn't mine, but it feels like home. I give him roots, yes. But more than that, wings. And he already knows. Love is a choice. Not a transaction. Not an obligation. It's a gift you give and receive freely.